Rohan Patel, comic book movie. Hi, David. How
Hey,
are you?
Rohan. Good. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Season two is awesome, and the show's. I love the show,
Thank you so
um,
much.
and you have like this impossible task. I don't even know how you managed to do it. It's like you're resurrecting unspeakable evil in season one, and then now
Yes.
you have to write dialogue for this guy. And it's like, are you taking stuff from what he said in real life, or are you like, how do you like even take your mind to that place to kind of write that kind of character?
Yeah, it's a great question. Unfortunately, part of it is studying what he said, in certain speeches and things and in private. But there's also, fictionalization and ideation, right? Trying to get the essence of this incredibly evil, sociopathic individual, and put it on screen. But you're right, it was a huge sort of responsibility and weight that if we invoke this character, how do we treat this character? And more importantly, how do we exact justice and revenge and vengeance against him, right?
Yeah, and then and the Hunters obviously had a story for season two and beyond, but it's like you don't know if Al Pacino is going to come back as the Wolf. Was that always the plan to bring him back to tell the story you tell with him this season, or was that something that came up like throughout the pandemic? I guess.
Yeah, at the end of season one, Al and I had many conversations together. We had such an incredible time shooting season one together, and really, we became so interested in this character of Meyer Offerman, and believed that he had much more story to tell, those depths and dimensions within him to mine that and be explored. So at the end of season one, he and I started those conversations, and we sort of, together came to this incredible origin story, really, for the Hunters that he's a part of, obviously, in a big way. And what is exciting to me about this season is with these dual timelines, it's about how the past informs and is in conversation with, I'll call it the future, but it's really 1979, right? How 75 and 79 are so in concert with each other, and how Meyer's story in the past informs Jonah's story in the present.
Yeah, so, and then I think Jonah's decision also what he did to the wolf informs how he reacts to in episode six. So is that just a natural progression? Is that the journey y'all intended for Jonah?
Absolutely. What a great point. I think Jonah gets lost along the way in season one, right? He delves into the darkness. He loses the light that his grandmother had tried to protect within him. And so season two, he begins in a place where he is lost. And over the course of season two, he becomes found again, right? And he becomes found in large part through the introduction of the character of Chava, played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, who we discover is his great aunt, his grandmother's long thought dead sister. And look, with great trauma, the antidote, or when you're lost in the world, the great antidote or medicine to that is always family. And so season two is really about Jonah finding his way back to that light and to that moral compass.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's nice to see some accountability as well. I think I don't want to get into, but and then getting back to Jonas, yeah, I think the natural inclination is sort of to go toward this lone wolf status, but he doesn't do that. He kind of finds Clara. He's still very much ingrained with his family, or he wants a family. So when you're processing to maybe, I know the show is ending, but it's like if you had ever thought maybe 20, 30 years down the line, who is Jonah at that point?
What a great question. I've thought about it many times, and I do have a story for the future for Jonah that we'll see if we have a chance to make it in some form or fashion. But I think that this conflict within him, the desire to lead a normal life, to follow the light, and then also the alter ego within him, wearing the mask and the cape and fulfilling that legacy and that birthright, will constantly be at war within him. And I think that that conflict leads to unfortunate circumstances for him in his life because he just can't give up that sort of double life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Dave. It's such a brilliant show, and it's been so great to talk to you.
You're amazing, man. Thank you so, so much. I
Thank you.
so appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.